Welcome to the Way of Mastery. Welcome to the Way of Mastery. I'm Earl Purdy, and it's so good to have you here tonight. And we're going to talk about the importance of humility. We're going to talk about the importance of humility. Listen to me. Welcome to the Way of Mastery. We're going to talk about the importance of humility today. Listen to me. Welcome to the Way of Mastery. Welcome to Facebook Live. I'm so glad to see my mighty companions. I need to be with you jokers tonight. Hello, Kim. Hello, Kathy. We're going to talk about the importance of humility on the way of mastery, in the way of mastery. Yes. Resting in. Know that all. It's so good to see y'all. The love of God is loving me. I'm resting in. I know that all is well. The love of God is loving me. Is resting in the love. Welcome to the Way of Mastery. We're going to talk about the importance of humility. So how important is humility? Hello, mighty companions. So let's take a breath right now and bring ourselves into the moment. Take a breath. Welcome to the Way of Mastery. Welcome to the Way of Mastery. I am Earl Purdy, and I'm so glad to be with you tonight and to feel your energy and to let my energy come through the love of God. May the love of God come through me. May the love of God come through me. Mighty companions, welcome to the Way of Mastery. I'm Earl Purdy. And don't forget that we're live, so you can interact with each other. You can interact with each other. You can interact with me. I'll respond when I can. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to like the video. And know that all is well. All is well. Okay, so let's jump in it. Now remember, you do not have to believe these ideas. You don't have to accept these ideas. Well, hello, Yvette. Hello, Billy. Some of these ideas you might find hard to believe. Some of these ideas are going to be hard to believe. Some of these ideas are going to be startling. Some of these ideas are going to trip you out. Some of these ideas you're going to love. Some of these ideas you're going to understand. Some of these ideas are not going to make any sense at all. But it's the use of the ideas that will give them meaning to you. And it's the use of the ideas that will show you that the ideas are true. So I'm going to try to bring the Way of Mastery to life. Focus on what the main takeaways are from each paragraph. We're going to do it as we read it and do it together. We're on the importance of humility on page 64 in the Way of the Heart. In the Way of the Heart, page 64, the importance of humility. In the Way of the Heart, part 1 of the Way of Mastery, We're in the importance of humility on page 64 because I use my Kindle because the fonts are really large and it's bright, and we're going to do this right now. So it says no single characteristic is of greater importance than humility. So what is the major characteristic that I need to cultivate in any situation that I'm in right now? I want you to pick a situation that you're going through. Pick a situation that you're going through. Pick a relationship that you're going through. We're in the Way of Mastery, page 64, the importance of humility. And Yeshua says no single characteristic is of greater importance than humility. But it also says that it's not talking about a feigned humility that is taught in certain world religions. We're talking about genuine humility. So I need to cultivate genuine humility. We're on page 64 in the Way of the Heart. We're on page 64. When someone asks what page we're on, please someone online let them know so I won't have to stop and just keep the flow going. Okay? So we're talking about genuine humility, because humility doesn't mean that you stand in front of a group of people who give you a standing ovation and say, oh gosh, you shouldn't have done that. It's not important. So it's not about you looking like you're humble when inwardly you're thinking, oh God, this feels so doggone good. I want you all to clap a little louder. I want you to clap a little longer, but I won't tell you that I want you to acknowledge me even longer. Do you know that kind of humility? Is it not the kind of humility you were taught in your schools? So what is it telling us? I'm not talking about the kind of humility that when somebody's really praising you or someone's really acknowledging you, you go, oh, no, not me. You couldn't be talking about me. That's not the kind of humility that the Way of Mastery is talking about. It's not talking about being self-effacing. I love how the Course in Miracles says that we think self-debasement is humility, that we believe by putting ourselves down, that's the same as being humble. And if you actually acknowledge yourself and you feel good about yourself, then that's being egotistical. I've noticed a lot of times when I compliment people, they say to me, oh, you're just trying to build up my ego. And I tell them, no, if I was trying to build up your ego, I'd say you were a guilty, no good son of a gun, that you weren't enough, that there's something wrong with you. Now that's building up your ego, your false sense of love about yourself, or the false sense of value about yourself is when someone is criticizing, judging you, and condemning you. Now that's what's building your ego. If I tell you that you're beautiful and that you are light and that you're lovely and that you're powerful and that you are one of the most powerful creations that was ever created and you are infinitely strong, that is not building your ego. That's telling you the truth about who you really are. I'm telling you in that case who you really are. So we're not talking about the kind of humility that most people do, which is, oh, don't tell me that. Don't say that about me. I couldn't possibly be that wonderful. It says actually, if you're dealing with genuine humility, it says genuine humility flows from the deep-seated recognition that you cannot save yourself. Oh, wait a minute now. So when am I being really humble? I'm using real humility when I recognize I can't save myself. I can't save myself. I'm going to be humble. I'm going to say I can't save myself, that I am created. And I'm going to tell myself I'm not the ultimate creator. I'm going to tell myself that I am effect and not cause in the absolute sense, that something called life is not mine, and that there is something beyond my capacity of containment and intellectual understanding. And if that something ever decided to give up loving me, I wouldn't continue to exist. Okay. So I always like to go through the paragraph and then get us to the point that we can hear what it's saying. Okay, so what is the characteristic of a person that's going to be genuinely humble? Okay, in the situation that I'm in right now, whatever that situation that you're in right now, you want to tell yourself, I really want to practice genuine humility. So take a moment and tell yourself, I am ready to practice genuine humility. Okay, what is genuine humility? Well, genuine humility is recognizing that you can't save yourself, that you aren't God in the ultimate sense, that you're not the ultimate creator in the ultimate sense, and that there is something beyond your understanding. There is something beyond your capacity of containment. There is something beyond your intellectual understanding. You cannot save yourself. You did not create yourself. And there is something beyond your intellectual understanding. So that means that if I really want to practice humility, I would need to recognize that I did not create myself. Okay, so I'd like to invite you to say that to yourself right now. I did not create myself. I did not create myself. I did not create myself. I have a creator. I did not create myself. I have a creator. I did not create myself. I have a creator. I didn't create myself. I have a creator. And I need to realize that if my creator ever stopped sustaining me, if my creator ever stopped loving me, I would cease to exist. So you would cease to exist. If God stopped loving you, you would cease to exist. The fact that you exist means that life is sustaining you, God is sustaining you, love is sustaining you, because you are existing right now. Something is causing you to exist right now, Earl Purdy. Something is causing you to exist right now, mighty companion. Hello, Sarah. Hello, CJ. Yeah, I'm telling you, I did not create myself. You did not create yourself. So genuine humility is recognizing that you can't save yourself. You aren't God in the ultimate sense. There are things beyond your intellectual understanding, and there are things that you cannot contain. That is what a truly humble person recognizes. Then the next paragraph says, no matter how deep you go into the depth of God, no matter how deep you achieve an awareness and consciousness of union with God, what God is remains forever beyond your growing capacity to understand God. You will never understand God. You will never understand God. You will never understand all that is. God is another term for love. God is another term for creator. God is another term for all that is. So I don't care how conscious you think you become at this level, no matter how deep you achieve awareness at this level, what God is remains forever beyond your growing capacity to understand God. It's like an ocean. We're talking about something that's like an ocean of infinite depth. When you realize that, strive as you might, I don't care how hard you try, I don't care how much you seek, you will never wrap your little self, you'll never wrap your little human identity self around that source called God. So that's when you will rest in humility. That's when you will rest in genuine humility. I will say it again. Being humble, practicing humility, means that I recognize that God is beyond my understanding. That at this level of consciousness, there are some things beyond my understanding. At the level of awareness that I'm existing on right now, God is beyond my understanding, and God will always be beyond my understanding. That is what I must recognize to practice genuine humility right now. So don't even think that you're going to ever intellectually understand God. There's no one that's going to be able to intellectually get you to understand what God is. The Course in Miracles says that love can't really be explained. It can only be experienced. And one of the ways that you come to recognize what love is by recognizing what love isn't. And love isn't fear. Love isn't pain. Love isn't guilt. Love isn't lack. Love isn't sickness. Love isn't attack. Love isn't separation. So to recognize what love is, I need to recognize what love isn't. And love isn't guilt. Love isn't jealousy. Love isn't envy. Love isn't. What love isn't will get me in touch with the experience of what love is. And so God, which is love, which is the creator, which is all that is, which is the universe, which is infinite intelligence, which is a divine love beyond our greatest comprehension, just give it up, Earl. Give it up, mighty companion. You will never understand God. You will never be able to understand God. You will never be able to, at this level of consciousness, to practice genuine humility. It's okay to say, I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. There's a lesson in the Course in Miracles that goes, I don't know. I do not know what anything is for. I don't really know what anything is for. And the way of mastery is saying, in genuine humility, you recognize I'm not going to understand everything from the little bits of perception that I have. And so to practice genuine humility, I need to recognize I didn't create myself, and I'll never completely understand God at this level of consciousness. So why is it important that you recognize that you'll never understand God? Why is it important that you recognize that you did not create yourself, and so therefore you can't ultimately save yourself? Well, I want you to mark these words that I'm about to say well. As you progress along the path of the way of the heart, as you keep progressing along the path of the way of the heart, as you dissolve and loosen the shackles from your mind, as you dissolve the shackles from your mind, as the interior conflicts are healed, as you have your conflicts healed and settled, as you begin to accept the abundance that God has given you, as you begin to accept the abundance that the Father has given you in all levels of your life and all levels of your feeling and all levels of your perception, when you accept the abundance that life has given you, that the Creator has given you, as you begin to taste the grandeur, as you begin to taste the greatness that would flow through you, you will discover that enemies become much more subtle. So as you wake up to the abundance that you are, as you wake up to the love that you are, as you begin to master this, as you begin to heal, as you begin to feel and experience things in a beautiful way on all levels, do you know that you will discover that your ego, your enemy, your fears, your guilt thoughts, they will become more and more subtle. At a very immature, basic, and naive level, every child views at some stage its parents as being his enemies, right? There are times when I was growing up that I saw my parent as my enemy. You know what I'm talking about. The child says, what do you mean I have to be in by 10 o'clock? What do you mean I can't have the car tonight? What do you mean I can't go visit my friend that I want to go visit? In other words, as you move more and more, it tells us, as you move more and more into mastery, you will sorely be tempted to believe that you are done. As you move more and more toward the realization of the truth, you will be more and more tempted to think, okay, I got it now. I understand it now. I know exactly what's going on. You will be sorely tempted to believe, I can do this. The prayers I used to do when I began, the simple exercises of awareness I used when I started my path, I don't need these exercises anymore. I've mastered that. Okay, so what am I being told? When I get to the point that I believe that I don't need to continue to study, I don't need to continue to meditate, I don't need to continue to do the exercises and spiritual practices that keep me centered and keep me awake and keep me in love. Whenever I feel like I don't have to do the practices I used to do because now I think I got it, now I think I understand it, then that's when you know that your ego is in control again. That's how you know that you are misperceiving. That's how you know that you're getting ready to do yourself in. Soon as you say, I got it, I understand it, I know exactly what's going on now. I've been doing my studies, I've been doing my exercises, I've been reading my books, and so now I got it. I understand what everything is about. At that point, anytime you hear a voice within you saying to you, I'm done, I got it, I've mastered it, I'm awake, you just should be rest assured that you're not awake, that you're not done, that you don't have it. At the point, as long as you see me, I'm still learning and evolving. As long as I see you, you're still learning and evolving. How do I know that I haven't arrived? Because I'm still here. I'm still in a physical form and physical perception. So the truth is, whenever I tell myself I don't need to continue to do the exercises, I don't need to continue to study, I don't need to continue to do the things that are waking me up, then I can be assured that I'm not done. And I can also be assured that I stand in danger of losing whatever I have gained. because I'm going to get lazy. I noticed that because I've had such an incredible experience with the Way of Mastery and the Course in Miracles, I've read them over and over and over again and worked on the exercises that it's talking about over and over again. And when I get to the point that I think I've got it to the point that I don't still want to take the time to read, study, and apply the ideas, now I realize that that means my ego has taken over. My fear-based mind has taken over. The part of me that doesn't want me to have peace has taken over. At the point I tell myself, I got it now. I don't have to study anymore. I got it now. I don't have to read anymore. I'm beyond that now. That is not genuine humility, Earl. That is not genuine humility, mighty companion. So take a breath, real quick, take a breath. I want you to recognize that humility is the recognition that the more you move into mastery, the more you move into mastery, the more you move into mastery, the more there is the desire for discipline and vigilance. The more you move into mastery, the more there is the desire for discipline and vigilance. So when you desire vigilance, when you desire more discipline, when you desire more vigilance, when you desire to have more vigilance, when you desire to have more discipline, when you desire to have more discipline, when you desire to have more discipline, when you want to have more discipline, when you desire to have more discipline, that's how you can know that you're beginning to move into mastery. Do you know that the way you can tell when you're moving into mastery, when you are moving into humility, is you recognize, I need more discipline. I need to be more vigilant. I need to be more vigilant about the truth. I need to be more vigilant about taking responsibility. I need to have more vigilance about remembering that I didn't create myself, that there's an intelligence greater than mine that's in charge of my life, that I need to use desire, intention, allowance, and surrender. Those are the 4 keys to happiness, and I need to focus in on those 4 keys. Desire, intention, allowance, and surrender. And when you move into humility, when you begin to move into humility, you will have more desire to have discipline in your life. You'll have more desire to use vigilance in your experience. Now, discipline doesn't mean doing something hard that you don't like to do. When I'm talking about discipline, I'm not talking about doing something that you don't like to do. When we're talking about discipline, we're not talking about forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do. Discipline is like the skill of an artist that cultivates and refines a skill simply out of the deep desire to express that skill and out of the desire to create more beautifully. Discipline means I'm doing this because I love it. I'm doing this because I want to do it. So the best way to be disciplined is to be doing the things that you love to do, that thrills your heart, that thrills your soul. Discipline coincides with doing what you love and doing what you desire to do and doing what you really want to do in your soul. Discipline cultivates. Discipline refines your skill because you have a deep desire to express yourself, and you are delighting in creating something beautiful. That's how you're using true discipline. True discipline is not doing something that you hate to do all the time, that doesn't give you any excitement or joy. That is not true discipline. An athlete disciplines a muscle so that the muscle works even more. An athlete disciplines themselves so that their muscles move more beautifully than it did the day before. You are doing what you do out of the sheer delight to extend greater beauty into the world. So when you're doing something out of true discipline, you're doing it because you just love to do it, because you want to cultivate that skill, because it's thrilling to you. I love to be a facilitator and a teacher of God and of truth. There's nothing that I enjoy more than being a voice for God and a voice for truth. You're looking at a man who's not a man, who's more than a man, who's expressing through a man that loves to share, that loves to teach. And a teacher is a demonstrator, so I really do the best I can to demonstrate what I'm talking about. But I get up and I study and I read and I allow myself to have the discipline to be here every week so that I can share with you. That's discipline. But that discipline is coming out of the sheer love and joy and fulfillment that I get out of sharing with you. So the kind of discipline, that is humility. That is humility. I am practicing humility because I want to refine what I do and express what I do in a way that's beautiful, in a way that's helpful, and in a way that's delightful. So I don't have to force myself to read The Way of Mastery. I don't have to force myself to try to remember to do the exercises. I don't have to force myself to focus in on the truth all day, because discipline automatically comes with doing what you love and want to express your talent and your skill. So true discipline is a joy. True discipline makes you happy to do it. So while you remain in existence, it says right here, while you remain in existence, the creations of consciousness that are unlike love have created a whole lot of vibratory patterns that would just love to pull you down. Because you are in an existence that there are creations of fear, this will create a lot of vibratory patterns that would just love to pull you down. There are what a friend of mine calls anti-consciousness entities within us. That part of us that has been made to be attuned to what is not love, and that lowers the vibrations within you, and it can pull you down. So it's important to realize that while you remain in existence, the creations of consciousness that are different from love and different from the creations of consciousness that love created, these produce a vibratory pattern, and these vibratory patterns would just love to pull you down. Therefore, the discipline of the mind that is required is to recognize what? Recognize what? That while the body lasts, there can be a delight in consciously repeating the decision to teach only love. While the body lasts, there can be a delight in consciously repeating the decision to teach only love. I have decided to teach only love. I have decided to teach only love. Say that with me. I have decided to teach only love. 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 Say that with me. I have decided to teach only love. 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 To teach means to demonstrate. To teach means to demonstrate. I have decided to demonstrate only love. I have decided to demonstrate only love. I have decided to demonstrate only love. When you say, I have decided to teach only love, you're saying, I have decided to demonstrate only love. I can sit up here and talk love to you all night long, but I don't only want to talk love, I want to demonstrate love. And love is freedom. So to demonstrate love is to demonstrate freedom. To demonstrate love is to demonstrate union. To demonstrate love is to demonstrate unity. To demonstrate love is to demonstrate oneness. To demonstrate love is to demonstrate abundance. So to demonstrate is to teach. So I've decided to demonstrate love. I have decided to teach only love. So selectively choosing only the vibrational patterns to be allowed into my consciousness that reflect the truth. Okay, so what is it saying? That when you say you've decided to teach only love, you're saying that you've decided to only allow vibrational patterns in your consciousness that reflect the truth. I'm going to only allow vibrational patterns in my consciousness that reflect the truth. And in that way, I will be teaching only love. I'm only going to allow into my consciousness that which reflects the beauty and the worthiness of who I truly am. So I'm only going to allow into my consciousness patterns that reflect the truth and beauty of the worthiness of who I truly am. So let's say it again. Okay. Okay. The discipline of the mind that is required. Okay, what is the discipline of the mind that's required? The discipline of the mind that's required is to recognize what? That while your body lasts, there can be a delight in consciously repeating the decision to teach or demonstrate only love. While my body lasts, I've made the decision that I'm going to demonstrate only love. I love you too, Linda. Thank you. Tosh, great to see you online. Tosh is my niece. She's an incredible artist, just an incredible being anyway, and I love her. There can be a delight in consciously repeating the decision to teach only love. That means selectively choosing only the vibrational patterns to be allowed into your consciousness. I'm only going to allow vibrational patterns into my consciousness that reflect the truth and the beauty and the worthiness of who I truly am. I'm only going to allow vibrational patterns into my consciousness that reflect the truth and the beauty of who I really am. I'm going to teach only love. Now, what about the ego fearful part of the mind? What about that? Well, it says judgment cannot reflect such light. Judgment is not going to reflect such truth. Anger and hatred cannot reflect the truth. Anger and hatred cannot really reflect the truth. One of the biggest breakthroughs for me in my own personal spiritual journey is that I've finally gotten to the point that I don't trust my anger and I don't trust my fear. What I mean by that is, whenever I feel anger and whenever I feel fear, that is how I know I'm misperceiving something. That's how I know there's another way to look at something that I'm not using. There's another way to look at, no matter what happens to me, there's another way that I can look at it that will release me from anger and fear. I don't care how tragic the situation is. I don't care how horrible the situation is. There is another way for me to look at it that can give me more peace. So now I realize that every time I feel anger, every time I feel fear and hatred, then I know that I'm not experiencing something that's reflecting the truth. I know that I'm not experiencing something that reflects the truth. I remember back in the old days, it was just the opposite. Back in the old days, it was just the opposite. If I felt angry and if I felt upset, I thought that absolutely meant I must be correct about what I was seeing or feeling, because I certainly wouldn't be upset about nothing. So the mere fact that I was upset fooled me into thinking that my perception must be correct. What the truth has taught me and what humility has taught me is that I'm only seeing things correctly when I'm demonstrating only love, and I'm demonstrating only love because I choose only the vibrational patterns to be allowed into my consciousness that reflect the truth and beauty of who I really am. So when I'm demonstrating love, when I'm teaching love, I'm only allowing the vibrational patterns into my consciousness that reflect the truth and also the beauty. And so that means that hatred and anger can't do it. Fear and paranoia, fear of rejection, fear of the opinions of others. That's a big one that I'm working on personally right now, because I know in order to go to the next level of consciousness that I'm being asked to go to, it's going to be important that I not care what other people think. That there's only so far you can go on the spiritual path when you're concerned about what other people think. So any part of me that's concerned about what other people may think of the next level of consciousness and personality that I express, that is not a reflection of teaching only love. This is telling me that I'm actually teaching only love when I'm not allowing myself to be swayed by the opinions of others. And such vibrations can never reflect the regal grandeur of my being. See, if I'm concerned about what other people think, if you're concerned about what other people think, then you may hold back the expression of who you are. The regal, I like that, the regal grandeur of your being. So judgment cannot reflect the truth of who you are. Anger and hatred can't reflect back to you the truth of who you are. Fear and paranoia and fear of rejection, that's a big one too. That if I really express who I really am, if I really let somebody know what's really going on within me, if I really express myself for who I really am, that I'm going to be rejected. If I really come out of the closet about my spiritual and metaphysical beliefs, I'm going to be rejected. So that is not a reflection of teaching only love. It is a call for love. It is a need for love. It is a call for God, but it is not a reflection of the truth or that you're practicing the truth. Therefore, understand well, again, what? You need to understand, Earl Purdy. You need to understand, mighty companion, that humility is absolutely essential. Humility is absolutely essential. Paradoxically, it says, as greatness is expressed through you, the temptation still would be to allow egoic or fear energies to make a home in your mind. What? As greatness is expressed through you, the temptation still would be to allow fearful energies, which is egoic energies, to make a home. To make a home where? To make a home in your mind. So that means that your ego's voice, the fear voice, the voice of your false self, that voice inside your head, it's going to say, boy, you are really quite a master, you know. You really deserve all this adulation. Why don't you keep 10% of the adulation for yourself? You know you are awesome. You're quite a master. See, as you begin to evolve and wake up, that voice inside your head, the ego is going to say, you know, you are really hot stuff. You are quite the master, you know. You really deserve all this adulation. Why don't you keep at least 10% of this adulation for yourself? So that is your ego. That is not the true you. And you're right, Claire. We are powerful, creative, and humble. That is exactly right. We are powerful. Let's say that I am powerful, I am creative, and humble. I am powerful, I am creative, and humble. And it's great the way that you all are communicating with me and communicating with each other. And I can see the comments, and I will respond when I'm led to and I can. But in the meantime, it's great that we're all feeling our connection with each other the way that we're doing right now. So what does a master do? Well, a master accepts the love and gratitude offered by those whom his or her teachings have touched and gives it all to God, recognizing that of themselves these things could not have been done. So if I'm going to practice being a true master, I'm going to accept the love and gratitude offered by those who I have touched. So I am going to accept the love and gratitude offered by those of you who have benefited through the teachings that have come through me. Notice I didn't say from me. I said through me, because I'm going to give all glory to God. All things that are coming through me that are loving, these things are coming from God. These things are coming from the Creator. I am going to be genuinely humble enough to recognize that of myself, I could not do any of this. Of myself, by myself, I could not do any of this. So a master, if you're going to be a master, do you want to be a master? It means accept the love and gratitude that's being offered to you from people who are benefiting from what you are and what you share, but also recognize that you need to ultimately give all the glory to the Creator, all the glory to God, because you recognize that by yourself and of yourself, you could not do all these unlimited great things that are being done to you. I don't even know how my stomach digests. I don't even know how my lungs work. I don't really know how my brain operates. I don't know how my stomach operates. I don't know how I physically walk, what muscles are causing me to do that. If I was to be honest with myself, I would have to immediately say in genuine humility that of myself, I couldn't do any of these things. Obviously, of myself, I couldn't do any of these things because I don't even know how any of these things work. So let's say that the truth about you is that you are an extension of God and you have all knowledge and you have all infinite intelligence within you as you truly are. Okay, now I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that I know exactly what's going to be happening 3 hours from now. I'm not going to tell you that I'm aware of what you are doing right now, physically, wherever you are listening to me. So that's obvious that who I think I am, it doesn't know everything. That's not a stretch. That's not a stretch. Who you think you are doesn't know anything. It doesn't know what my TV looks like. If you're in touch with your God consciousness, then you should know exactly what's going on in front of me, exactly who's in front of me, but you don't, which means that who you think you are couldn't possibly be who you really are as the unlimited divine extension of God, who is all knowledge. So at this level of consciousness where I have such limited perception, it's important that I remind myself that I need to give all glory to that part of me that does know all things, which is the divine self, the real self, the God self. So genuine humility would be me recognizing that me as I think I am, I certainly, absolutely do not know everything, cannot understand God, does not know the future, and does not know how you're going to be affected by every decision that you make. I don't know. I don't know is the one statement that we can make that is most in line with the truth. The one thing that we can say that's most in alignment with the truth is what? I do not know. That would be the most honest, truthful statement you could possibly make at this level of consciousness. I do not know. That is not a put down. That is not belittling yourself. That is practicing genuine humility. Saying I do not know means that God does know. When I say I do not know, I'm also asserting that and affirming that I believe that the Creator does know. You're right, Gemma. What you do know has not served you very well. By that we mean what? What I've made up from the world, the things that I've learned from the world, the things that I've learned from the past, those things that I am using and telling myself to keep me in some level of fear and conflict, those are ideas that have not served me well. So I don't know is a statement of allegiance and undivided loyalty. Then the next paragraph says, Yeshua or Jesus says, I learned to be tempted. When those would come to me who were sick, found healing in my presence, it was tempting to want to say, yes, look what I've done. So even Yeshua, even Jesus is saying, yeah, when all those people got healed around me, my own ego wanted to say, oh, but look at what I've done. I've really earned this. Then it says, Yeshua says, I spent 40 days and 40 nights in the desert. I've been to India and Tibet. I've been to England. I've studied with all the masters of Egypt. Yet, yes, I really deserve to be seen as a healer and a teacher. Jesus is saying, because of all the things I've done and everywhere I've been and how other people have been healed through me, my ego was tempted to say, I deserve to be seen as the ultimate teacher and the ultimate healer. So we're being warned right now that as I get results, I must not forget to give the glory to God. As I get results, I need to remember that of myself, I can do nothing. As I get results, I need to watch that voice that's going to try to puff me up in the sense of thinking what? I did it on my own by myself. There's nothing more hilarious to me than a person who calls themselves a self-made man or a self-made woman. There's no such thing as a self-made man and a self-made woman. There's nothing you've ever done that you did not receive the cooperation and help of everything around you. I am not wearing clothes that I made. I did not make the iPhone that I'm using to broadcast Facebook Live right now. I did not make the Kindle that is sitting on my lap right now. I did not do those things alone, on my own, by myself. Everything in my experience is the result of collaboration and cooperation on so many different levels. So it's almost stupid for a person to say, I did it all on my own. You don't do anything on your own because you're not on your own. So that is an egotistical statement that has no genuine humility behind it. So the next paragraph says, but I learned through humility to remember the simplicity that of myself, I can do nothing. I can do nothing of myself. By myself, I can do nothing. Of myself, I can do nothing. Then Yeshua says, I cultivated within myself the art of always being a student of love and not the professor of love. I am a student of love. I'm going to keep on seeing myself as a student of truth, a student of love. There is a point where learning no longer is needed. There is a point where learning ceases and you become what you were created to be, which is a creator. But until you reach that level, you need to recognize that you should want to be a student of love, a student of truth, and not the professor of love, the professor of truth. So let's try that just to practice a minute. Let's say to ourselves, I am a student of love. I am a love student. Who are you? I am a love student. I'm a love student. I'm a love student. Who are you? I am a love student. That's who I am. I am a love student. 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 Tell yourself, I am a love student. I am a love student. I am a love student. Let's say it together. I am a love student. I am a student of love. Let's say it. I am a student of love. 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 Say it. I am a student of love. I am a student of love. Say it. I am a student of love. I am a love student. I am a love student. I am a love student. I am a love student.
Opportunity finds me. I create what I need. I'm open to suggestions. I accept success. I take responsibility. Abundance flows through me, and I prosper.
All right. Okay, I always like to use music because music kind of gets me out of my intellect and it gets me out of my head and it allows me to get into my body. It's my right brain, left brain thing. It gives me more balance. And so it says right here, Yeshua says, I cultivated within myself the art of always being a student of love and not the professor of love, who thinks he is done just because he has a lot of letters after his name. So what does that mean? It means that as you progress and as you allow more of the abundance of God's love to flow through you, as you allow more of the Creator's love to flow through you, you're going to begin to stand out. You're going to begin to stand out of the crowd. The first song that I was playing, that was Ricky Byers, and this is Reverend Yolanda at ReverendYolanda.com. I want you to hear what I'm saying. As you progress more, as you allow the abundance of the Creator to activate and to function in you more and flow through you more, you're going to begin to stand out of the crowd. You're going to begin to attract those that want the light. As you begin to express more truth, more love, and more light, you're going to begin to attract more people to you who want that love and want that light. As you begin to let more love flow through you, you're going to begin to stand out in the crowd, and you're going to begin to draw more people to you who want that light, and that light is the truth. So as that happens, as you let the truth flow through you more, as you let love flow through you more, as you begin to stand out in the crowd more, as more people are attracted to you because they want the light and the truth that's flowing through you, you have to practice vigilance. You have to practice discipline. How do you practice vigilance? How do you practice vigilance? How do you practice discipline? By remembering humility always. That what they are responding to is the love of God coming through me. What they are responding to is the divine in me. What they are responding to is the flow of God's abundance and love coming through me. I'm going to realize in genuine humility that I did not make myself. I did not make this light, love, and truth that is flowing through me. Of myself, I can do nothing. I don't understand anything at the level of consciousness that I am as a singular separate entity. So as I begin to attract this attention, as more people are drawn to me, that will keep my ego in check. I will see myself as a student of love and not a professor of love. And I will remember that with every breath. Why? Why? If you're living in this world, are you living in this world? I am living in this world. Are you living in this world? I am living in this world. Well, if you are living in this world and you feel that no one looks up to you, if you are living in this world and you feel like no one takes you as an authority, there is only one reason if you're living in this world and it looks like no one's looking up to you. It means you have resisted the truth of your being. You are resisting what is the truth of who you really are. If it looks like no one takes you as an authority, if it looks like no one looks up to you, you have resisted the truth of your being, and through the denial of who you really are, you have pushed God's light away out of your fear. Stop pushing the love away because you are afraid of love. Stop pushing the love away because you are afraid of love. Stop pushing the love away. Stop pushing the love away out of your fear. Do you know that you have a deep-seated fear? And what is that deep-seated fear? That deep-seated fear is that you might appear to be different from everybody else. You're afraid to be too different from everybody else. The deep-seated fear, Earl, is you are afraid to be too different. There's a part of you that wants to conform. There's a part of you that wants to conform to the point that you sometimes resist really expressing the truth of your being, that you resist expressing the truth of who you really are. That deep-seated fear is what, according to the way of mastery? What is that deep-seated fear? That your butt's going to be too strange, you're going to be too different, you're going to be too weird, that you're not conforming enough. That is the deep-seated fear that keeps us from expressing that unlimited, unbelievably cool, creative being that we truly are. So the way of mastery says the world will teach you to be a doormat. The world is trying to teach you to be what? A doormat. Why? So that you fit in. So that you don't ruffle anybody's feathers. So what's going to happen as you become empowered? Well, as you become empowered, one way you will know that it is occurring is that people will not like you. What? As you become empowered, one way you will know that you are becoming empowered is that some people won't like you. When you're beginning to become empowered, some people won't like you. As you're being true to yourself and expressing who you are as God created you to be, some people will not like you. Get it? Some people won't like you. As you begin to express who you really are and get in touch with your power, and you are no longer conforming, and you are no longer a sheeple, sometimes people are sheeples, then some people won't like you. My style, the way I teach, the way I express myself, it is not everybody's cup of tea. Let me tell you. The way that I teach and the way that I express myself and the way that God comes through me, it isn't necessarily something that everybody likes, okay? Because as you become more empowered, as you become truer to yourself, you are going to be much more, you won't be so, bland. You won't be so much like shades of gray. You're going to be an expression of the unique expression of who and what God is. And some people are going to like it and some people are not. But what other people think of you is not your business. What other people think of you isn't your business. It's not your business what other people think of you. If you're coming into your power, which means you might not be doing the things you used to do, you might not be acting the way you used to act, you may not be fulfilling everybody's requests and needs and scripts around you the way that you used to do, then there are going to be some people who need you to be that way, and they will feel frightened, and they may be tempted to try to attack you or manipulate you. But you must realize that as you begin to claim your power, some people won't like you. You will push their buttons just by walking into the room. Just walking into a room will be enough to push some people's button, because darkness can't stand the light. The darkness cannot stand the light. Love cannot stand fear. Fear cannot stand love. Fear cannot stand love. Fear cannot stand love. So what is it that we're being told? We're being told that as you claim your power, as you get in touch with who you really are, there are going to be situations and circumstances where people don't like you. The other thing to keep in mind when you're beginning to practice genuine humility is that you have to stay conscious that you're going to be more attractive, you're going to be more charismatic, and the temptation is going to be to give your own ego all the credit for what you are experiencing, and that is not genuine humility. Also know that there may be a deep-seated fear inside of you of being too different from everybody else and wanting to conform. Also, you're going to need to let go of your desire to be too concerned about what other people think of you and the opinions that others have of you. And as you become more empowered, you will know that it's happening because some people won't like you. But there will be, let me tell you, there will be more people who like you and appreciate you and love you than anything you could possibly imagine when you become really true to yourself and allow God to flow through you in the unique way that God in love is supposed to flow through you. And you have discipline and vigilance, and out of your discipline and vigilance, you know you have talents and abilities and things that you want to express. And because you love yourself and you want to express what you came here to express, you won't have a problem with discipline, because you will love doing the thing that is your talent, that is your gift, that is your self-expression. And you will be conscious enough to give the glory to God, because you recognize that of yourself you can do nothing. So humility is absolutely essential. I'll say it again. Humility is absolutely essential. So it's a doorway. And so through the doorway of humility, the light of power can be turned on through you in ever greater voltages. Love and light is going to come through you in a way that gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And if that voltage does not seem to be flowing through your mind, then what should you do? You should look well to see if you are remembering humility. See if you are still telling yourself, of myself, I can do nothing. Of myself, I can do nothing. I'm a student of love, not a professor of love. I did not create myself. I don't understand everything. I can't know everything. I can't do anything alone. It's the God within me, the divine within me that's doing all the great things. See, if it looks like this light, this love, this energy, this joy isn't flowing through you, then you need to remember what true humility is and give yourself to it. The light of God, the light of love can only shine through you to the degree that you are willing to take responsibility for it. So love can only shine through me to the extent to which I am willing to what? Take responsibility for letting the light of God and the love of God shine through me. I take responsibility now for allowing the light and love of God and the truth of God to flow through me to you right now. I take full responsibility for sitting here in front of you, being willing for God and truth to flow through me to be helpful to you. I take full responsibility for allowing myself to be used by love and to be used by God. The light of God can only shine through you to the degree you're willing to take responsibility for it. What does that involve? It involves giving the fruits of it back to its source. So taking responsibility actually means I give all glory to my Creator. I give all power to my Creator. I give all gratitude to my Creator. Everything that's coming through me, everything that's being said to you right now is coming to me through me. I'm not going to claim that I wrote this book. I'm not going to claim that I wrote this truth. I'm not going to claim anything other than I am a conduit. I am a vessel. I am a vehicle for God and love to shine through, to function through. And I'm a student of God. I'm a student of love. We are equals. You and I are total equals. I'm not somebody coming on high who's acting like I have it all together and I know everything and I'm giving it to all the little poor people who don't understand it. That is totally egotistical. That is not coming from genuine humility. Coming from genuine humility is me making the decision that I want to have vibratory patterns and levels of consciousness that only reflect the truth and reflect beauty and reflect love to you. And then also remember that that beauty and that love is coming through me from the higher self. It's coming from God. So when you claim nothing, hear me now, when you claim nothing for yourself, when you claim nothing for yourself, your little self, all things can flow through you. You're right, CJ. That is something to think about. How far am I willing to take responsibility for allowing love to flow through me? Ask yourself that question, mighty companions. How far are you willing to take responsibility for allowing love to flow through you? How much responsibility are you willing to take tonight? How much responsibility are you willing to take tonight? Ask yourself, how much responsibility am I willing to take tonight? Because humility is the chief characteristic that needs to be cultivated. Humility is the chief characteristic that needs to be cultivated. So then it says the Holy Spirit can gather millions of beings to come to you in many planes. The Holy Spirit, the love of God, the voice for God, it says can gather millions of beings to come to you in many planes because the Holy Spirit knows you will not distort the love of God by usurping God's position and putting yourself upon the throne. So Spirit can send you millions of beings can come to you to support you, to learn from you, to teach you. Because you are no longer on such a level of consciousness that you will not recognize that your blessings come only from God, and you won't be taking credit for all of it through your little ego, small, unaware human self. So humility is, again, the chief characteristic to cultivate. Therefore, when you pray, indeed, ask for greatness. When you pray, what should you do? I ask for greatness. Say that right now. I ask for greatness. I ask for greatness. I ask for greatness. I ask for greatness. Let the Father know that you are ready for the fullness of Christ, which is your true self, to be incarnate. I'm ready for my true self to incarnate now. Say that. I'm ready for my true self to incarnate now. I want you to hold the promise within you that you will always remember that you are not the doer and you are not the maker. I want you to promise me that you will continue to recognize you are not the ultimate doer, you are not the ultimate maker. You are merely the one who has come to recognize that only the love of God can fulfill you as a soul. Do you know that you finally have begun to really awaken because you are recognizing that only the love of God can fulfill you as a soul? Only the fulfillment of your purpose. Only the fulfillment of your purpose. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? What is your purpose? To be a channel for love. That's the only thing that's going to ultimately bring you the success and happiness that you want, Raj. That's the only thing that's going to bring you the happiness that you want. What? To fulfill your purpose. What is your purpose? To be a channel for love. My purpose is to be a channel for truth. My purpose is to be a channel for love. Say that. My purpose is to be a channel for truth. My purpose is to be a channel for love. My purpose is to be a channel for love. I'm here to be a love channel. You are here to be a love channel. That's the only thing that's going to ultimately bring you the success and love that you want and the happiness that you want. You are the one who has come to recognize that only the love of God can fulfill your soul. Remember, you are not the doer, you are not the maker. You are not the doer, you are not the maker. That is off the chain. You're not the doer, you're not the maker. You're not the doer, you are not the maker. So what is it that you need to be fully committed to? When you are fully committed to that, rather than being committed to wondering about other people's opinions, I'm committed to being a channel of love. I'm committed to be a channel for the truth. I'm not committed to wondering about what other people think of me. Stop being committed to wondering about other people's opinions. Stop being committed to wondering about other people's opinions. Stop being committed to thinking about what other people are going to think about what you do when you're trying to be a channel for love. Be committed to be a channel. Be committed to being a channel for truth. Be committed to being a channel for abundance. Be committed to being a channel to love and for love. Don't be committed to, I'm so concerned about what other people are thinking. I'm so trying to fit in. I need to conform. I need to do it like everybody else does it. What are other people going to think of me? What is my family going to think of me? What are my friends going to think of me? Stop being committed to that, but be committed to recognizing that it's only the love of God that's going to fulfill your soul, Earl, and be committed to recognizing that you're here to fulfill your purpose and that your purpose is to be a channel for love. Now, I'm going to stop right here because I don't want to rush through this. I want to give us a chance to integrate the importance of humility. It has been so good to hear this and watch the comments, and I'm going to do a quick recap and a takeaway. And I want to thank you, and I want to ask you to share a financial expression of appreciation for this lesson that is coming through tonight. I would really, really appreciate that. You can go to earlpurdy.com and you can do that. I'm a full-time teacher of God, and all that I have comes only from God and comes through us to each other. Also, I'm available for one-on-one consultations called Clarity Sessions, and I want you to go to my website and earlpurdy.com, and it describes exactly how I work with you and what I would do to allow you to let go of the blocks that keep you from having the kind of life that you know you deserve and that you want. And I also use my knowledge of astrology and numerology as part of what I share with those who are open to it. And I'm also available for mentoring. So make sure that you go to my website and sign up for my contact list so that I can let you know about the workshops that I'm going to be doing very soon. I want to be able to let you know. You are such a blessing in my life. So let's see what our takeaways are. Well, let's go back to this last paragraph, because I think that it pretty much says it all. That number one, humility is absolutely essential. So if you don't feel that life force, if you don't feel that energy coming through you, if you don't feel that love coming through you, if you don't feel the Spirit coming through you, it means that you may not be practicing true humility. And what is true humility? True humility is me recognizing that of myself, I can do nothing. That there is a power greater than me, a power greater than my human identity. I need to allow myself to recognize that of myself I can do nothing. 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 I am a student of love. Say it to yourself. I am a student of love. Say it to yourself. I am a student of love. 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 I am a channel for love and light. I am a channel. We are channels for love. Let's say it together. We are channels for love. We are channels for love. Can you feel each other? We are channels for love. Say it. We are channels for love. I don't care about what anyone else thinks. I don't care about what anyone else thinks. We are channels for love. Mighty companion, you are such a blessing. When you say of myself I can do nothing, you're saying, God, I am sustained by the love of God. I am willing to let God use me as a channel for light. I'm willing to let God use me as a channel for truth. Thank you. Thank you, CJ, for moderating and narrating and communicating with everyone. I love and appreciate you so much. All of you mighty companions online, I see so many loving beings in front of me. Let's be genuinely humble. Let's recognize that we are going to become more powerful, that we're going to be used for light and truth and abundance. And in genuine humility, we're going to give all the glory to God. We're going to also be grateful to ourselves, but also we're going to give the glory to that unlimited love that created us. We are channels for love. I'll see you 7 o'clock Mountain Time on Tuesdays for the Way of Mastery, 7 p.m. on Thursdays Mountain Time for A Course of Love, and Sundays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time right here on Facebook Live for A Course in Miracles. I love you. You all rock.